Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Raw the Day After with myself and Jeff Lane. That's at Jeff Lane 22 on Twitter. This is where we cover the previous night's Raw. We give our comments. We really try to pick it apart from a critique, a professional critique, really trying to keep our opinions out of it and really try to just examine Raw where some of the pitfalls may be, some of the things that I know bother me and may, also be bothering you at home. Jeff, are you there?
I'm here. It was an interesting episode.
Jeff, what about the CC Sabathia fiasco, first of all?
All right. Well, luckily, you weren't able to take my advice.
Yes, Jeff, I did. I wasn't. Listen, there were a couple of guys. I was doing a little bit of a jump ball. I got your opinion. By the time I was ready to make some kind of a decision, Sabathia was already gone off the waiver wire, thank God. That left me with my other choice of Bolsinger for the Dodgers, who threw 8 shutout innings. Between what I would have lost with Sabathia and what I got with Bolsinger, I think it was a difference of 56 points, which was basically huge considering I'm in 11th place in the 12-point league right now, so everything counts.
Yeah, and Sabathia's game, it's not like he just had a bad start. It was disastrous. I think it was like two and a third, 8 earned runs. It was it's like his worst start of the year. So I think you'll probably stop asking me for advice on Yankees at this point.
Well, Jeff, it was also, though, let's be honest, it was disastrous for the Kansas City Royals yesterday.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that was what was it? 4 home runs in like the first inning and the third.
Yep. Stephen Drew hit one. Now I can't remember, but yeah, it was like 13-0 at one point, and I was like, okay, well, that's a good start.
Yeah, no, good game for the Yankees yesterday. All right, Jeff, let's get down to it. Jeff, listen, I want to have a precursor before this show.
All right.
Because I don't listen, bro. I don't want here's the problem, Jeff. They asked me to do the show. Then when I do the show, I get all the WWE lovers, that are all over me because they love this show no matter what. And you know what, bro? Like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm doing this show because the brand has asked us to do this show for some reason or another. They enjoy when we watch and critique Raw. That's why I do it. So let me first address the first question. Why do you watch the show? I watch the show because it's part of my job and we get subscribers based on me watching the show. So I get paid to watch the show. So let me put that question to bed first. If there wasn't income coming in by me watching the show, I would not watch this show. Okay, that's number one. Here's number two. Let me another precursor before we get going on this review of the show. I am not a fan of this show. Let me make that perfectly clear. I don't like Raw. I don't enjoy Raw. If I had a choice, I would not watch Raw. Not in the state it's in right now. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't change my mind if it got better, if I saw some promise. The form that the show is in right now, I am not a fan of. So let me make that perfectly clear before we get started. So, Jeff, go ahead. Let's get the ball rolling.
Okay, well, they did a nice Memorial Day package to open the show. Did you pay attention to Eden, the ring announcer? You said you were going to do that.
Oh, geez, Jeff, I didn't. I didn't.
Failure. Well, the reason why is I had her name down because she opened the show in the ring. I forget what she said, but all right. So they do the Memorial Day package where a lot of the superstars were saying a speech from Ronald Reagan. Really nice put together, I thought. Then this is one thing. Like, they do that awesome normal show open with the music and the Raw and all the superstars and the big pyro, and it gets everybody pumped for the show. And then we get the show, and it's like, but the Authority come out, and talking about Dean Ambrose, how he needs to sign the contract by the end of the night or he'll lose his title shot. Rollins puts over Justin Bieber. Ambrose comes out, tells a human centipede joke that felt completely flat. Then Ambrose is outside of the ring. Authority is trying to get him to come in the ring. Roman Reigns comes out. And then they make the match. For right now, Stephanie makes the match. Ambrose and Reigns versus Kane and Rollins.
Well, Jeff, here's the thing. Listen, bro, this is, and you said it, this is the thing that is exactly what we're talking about, for anybody that cares to know. One of the many flaws with the show. Jeff, it was almost in the same minute where Ambrose brought up Justin Bieber and the human centipede. All right, almost in the same 60 seconds. One is a teenage child reference. One is a very adult, sick, disturbing reference. He brought them up in the same freaking breath. You know what I mean about what I'm talking about with the human centipede, right? Jeff, you tell the people at home what that is, because I'm sure nobody popped, Jeff, because nobody got it. I guarantee you Vince McMahon had no idea what that reference meant. So, bro, he talks about Justin Bieber. In the next sentence, he talks about a human centipede. Explain to everybody what that is, Jeff.
Well, thank you for letting me explain this. The Human Centipede, it's a horror movie. It's awful. It's disgusting. Ambrose said he said that Rollins was the wrong end of the Authority Human Centipede. And what he's saying is, in the movie, this doctor kidnaps these three people, and he sews them all together. There's a person in the middle, sews the second person's mouth to the first person's butt, does the same thing with the last guy. His goal is for the first person to eat, crap in the second person's mouth, crap in the third person's mouth, and then the last person craps out the original food from the first person. This is this terrible movie. So Ambrose is insinuating that Rollins is the guy at the end in the Authority.
Which is, like I said, no way in the world Vince McMahon knew what that meant. I promise you. But the fact that he's comparing Rollins to Justin Bieber, and then he's talking about a very adult-themed movie. Bro, close to being an X-rated movie. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, really a disturbing movie. That right there, off the bat, is, again, what are you guys? Are we going to talk about Justin Bieber, or are we going to talk about, sewing everybody's mouths to everybody else's anuses? I mean, like, what exactly are we here? I mean, and I've been saying that for months and months and months and months. We can go on too, bro, if we want to go one step further, Jeff. We've got the Justin Bieber play, and we've been doing that a while with Seth Rollins. But then you turn around and, you got the guys from Entourage on the show, which is not a kid show.
Right. I laughed when Rollins was talking about Bieber because it was so ridiculous. Like, he was saying, why wouldn't I want to be like Justin Bieber, and saying all this stuff. I thought that was good, honestly. But my issue with this, and I don't know if you took the same thing, is I don't understand why Roman Reigns came out, the logic of it, because it's not like he was coming to save Ambrose. They weren't going after him. So Reigns comes out for particularly no reason. If I'm wrong with that, I am, but the Authority's like, come into the ring, Ambrose. They weren't going to jump him or anything. So I just thought there wasn't If Reigns was going to come out, it should have been for a save. I thought that would have been better. But by the time we go to commercial before the match, we're at 21 minutes. And I don't really think much was accomplished in this entire segment for 21 minutes.
Well, Jeff, not only that, let me go one step further, because it's at 36 minutes that the match is over. Okay, and of course, bro, we're gonna get Ambrose over Rollins in a tag match before the pay-per-view. I mean, my dog can book that, bro. So it's like, okay, we're 36. Why was I supposed to care about that match? Why do I care about Kane? Do I really think, oh, Ambrose beat Rollins, tonight he's going to beat him at the pay-per-view? That's what I mean, Jeff. And I'm going to go through this and I'm going to point this out. And this is why I don't like the show. It's the 1970s booking that's wrestling. It's wrestling 101. It's everything they always do on a wrestling show. And I'm going to point that out as we go along. But again, I'm just saying that's why I'm not a fan of this show. So at 6:36, our first match is over. Predictably, Ambrose went over Reigns because they're going into the pay-per-view. So now people are going to believe, oh my God, Reigns is going to beat him Ambrose is going to beat Reigns at the pay-per-view. So go ahead.
So Ambrose goes over in the match, like you said. Backstage, they do the whole theme for the night. Ambrose was being interviewed by Renee Young. J&J Security come in, start a brawl. Ambrose slugs the cameraman. Cameraman gets knocked out. And they put this over as Ambrose being out of control. Then we go to Kevin Owens' package. And with what happened with John Cena, then a limo pulls up. Entourage cast gets out. So really not much. I mean, the Ambrose thing sets up what's going to happen later. That's the first step. I will give them credit because this is one criticism particularly that we've had is they don't have a theme throughout the show. At least they tried with this. They you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jeff, I will say this. I mean, and this is what I'm very, very critical of all the time. There's no effort. There was an effort put into this show. I will give them that. So I'm putting that over. There was an effort put into this show with the whole story in the back and Ambrose showing up, which we'll get to. So I'll give them credit. But from there, Jeff, they went to Rusev over the Truth. I don't even know why you would have the match. Just let the promo go longer. I mean, the Truth ain't beating Rusev. It's not an enhancement match where you're making Rusev any stronger than he is by beating the Truth. This is what I mean. This is what I mean again about the wrestling minds. In their minds, they believe we're building Rusev by letting him put the accolade on Truth. No, you're not. What you're doing is you're just allowing me to change the channel. I know the outcome of the match. I don't care about the match. So then, Jeff, we go into the Rusev-Lana angle. I like to hear your spin on this.
Okay. One thing also, and I wrote this down because if you're in the live audience at this point, from the time that Rusev, his entrance begins to the time that Lana comes in was 11 minutes. And the match with R-Truth was what, a minute tops? So there's 10 minutes time where Rusev is standing in the ring doing nothing during commercial breaks, during video packages. That's got to kill the live audience. It's got to kill them. So I think that's kind of, I mean, that may not be an issue for the people at home, but the people there, I think that would kind of just kill any excitement. But Rusev is in the Bulgarian gear. He's not in his Russian stuff anymore. So Lana comes out. And Rusev wants her back. She agrees, but then Rusev wants her to admit that she was wrong. He didn't say I quit. So she flips out. Ziggler comes out. They make out again. Now, there was a lot of talk. Man, like my Twitter feed was blowing up. They're killing Rusev. This is character assassination. he's a monster. He shouldn't be acting like this. And I disagree with that. And this is why. The guy is a maniac. He's a maniac in the ring. To me, it makes sense that somebody with that personality would also be a jealous moron when it comes to women. So, they're saying he shouldn't care this much about Lana. He shouldn't love her. But to me, I think that fits him being a maniac. I just think that stuff goes hand in hand. If this guy's a crazy maniac, he's probably going to be a crazy jealous lover as well. So I didn't have issues with it. It was actually probably the only thing I liked on the show is the Lana Rusev stuff.
Well, but you know what, Jeff? They missed the point. I mean that's the whole point. Bro, and again, here's what I mean, Jeff. It's the wrestling people write the show like a wrestling show, and then the wrestling fans view it like wrestling fans. So I would have expected that very response, but here they missed the whole boat, bro. They missed the whole boat. This goes all the way back to Rusev quitting in his own language at the pay-per-view. He does it because he's this big, tough guy. He still is obsessed with not wanting people to think that he quit. So he set Lana up. Only for Lana to say, I was wrong. That's why he set her up. He still did not want people to look at him as a quitter. So it really had nothing to do with Lana or how he felt about Lana. He wanted Lana to set the record straight that he never quit. That's it. That's why he was trying to work Lana. So that fits his character. Because now, the fact that he quit and he purposely did it in his own language so nobody would know, she called him on it. That's what he's obsessed with. It's not the obsession with Lana and Dolph and all this. People miss that because, wrestling people write the show like wrestling people. Wrestling fans watch the show like wrestling fans. But here's the part I hate, bro. This is the part that drives me crazy, Jeff. The imaginary wall of China around the ring. This is what I hate about wrestling. This is what embarrasses me about being a wrestling fan. Okay, bro? Lana's making out with Dolph on the stage, and Rusev is throwing a fit in the ring, leaning over the ropes like if he left the ring, it would be like imbustible. It would be like Scanners. It would be like Scanners, Jeff. If I leave the ring, my head's going to blow up. That's what I hate about phony freaking wrestling, because no man in the world, especially a guy like Rusev, is going to stand there like a freaking moron and be made to look like an idiot. It's as simple as let Rusev hit the freaking stage and have a massive pull apart. I'd rather see that than see fake wrestling crap that Rusev doesn't leave the ring because the ropes are electrified, or if he leaves the ring, he's going to blow up. Or that's what I hate, Jeff, about bad, fake, phony wrestling.
After that, we go to backstage. Ambrose gets arrested. They're making the cameraman press charges. So Ambrose gets hauled off in the paddy wagon. And then we go to a match with Barrett and Ryback. And I'll be honest with you, I completely zoned out during this match on Twitter. I wasn't really paying attention, but Ryback went over. And then we go to Stephanie and Triple H by that awesome red curtain where they say Ambrose won't be back to sign the contract, and he'll lose the match at the pay-per-view if he doesn't sign it. Entourage cast comes in, and the one guy insults Stephanie about Ronda Rousey.
And Jeff, that was painfully awful. I mean, let me Ryback and Barrett. Why do I care? I don't. This is where, bro, listen, Teen Mom was 90 minutes yesterday. It was my priority. I was trying to watch both at once so I didn't have to DVR through Raw at 11 o'clock at night. So I hate to say this, Jeff. I was trying to get it over with. So I'm trying to watch as much as I can, but, going to Teen Mom for, when Raw sucked. So, I went to Teen Mom during Ryback and Zarek. The Entourage setup was painfully horrifying, painfully written, painfully acted. Painful. Bro, let me get to my next thing. Neville and oh God, bro. Stardust. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The match means nothing. Nobody cares about the match. Okay, Jeff. Wrestling 101. Okay. The match is over. Bo Dallas hits the ring. Bo Dallas is facing Neville in 6 days. Okay, we already know, like, Neville has that bad wheel, right? This is what I mean about wrestling 101. The logic, bro, that if I'm sitting there, creatively and in an agent's meeting or a TV writing meeting, this is what I'm bringing up, right, bro? Bro, why would Bo Dallas, Jeff, clip him once and walk away? Why? I mean, unless if this weren't wrestling, would that happen? Anytime, bro. Watch UFC. Anytime in a fight, you've got the guy down, wounded, you go in for the kill. Although, unless Derek is a sympathetic character, and we just haven't seen that side of him. If he's got Neville in 6 days, why is he clipping the leg only once and not going in for the kill? These are the things, bro, about wrestling that I hate, and the reasons why I'm not a fan of wrestling.
We did have our first Rudy Charles sighting of the night in that match. So they said the pay-per-view. They said that these guys had the match at the pay-per-view before he even did that tonight. So this entire pay-per-view match was based off Bo Dallas just attacking him last week. So no creativity there. We go backstage, and the Entourage cast is chilling with the Divas. They're going to go party with the Divas, and then one of the guys has a plan for Zack Ryder, foreshadowing for the U.S. Open Challenge. Then we have Ziggler and Sheamus. As a match, Lana comes out on the stage. Rusev.
Bro, can you imagine? Nothing against Zack Ryder, because please don't, Zack Ryder fans, please don't tweet me or nothing like that. It has nothing to do with Zack Ryder, everything to do with the way they've built the Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder is a nobody on the roster due to the creative, nothing on Zack Ryder's part. Let me make that clear. But you use the cast of Entourage to give a Zack Ryder the rub. Jeff, again, like, okay, if that's how you want to use four guys, from a movie coming out that's going to be pretty hot, it's going to be a summer blockbuster. You want to tie them in with Zack Ryder because that's going to give Zack Ryder the rub and get him over. Like you're going to use Zack Ryder on next week's show. We're probably not going to see Zack Ryder for another month, but okay.
Okay, the Ziggler-Sheamus match. So Lana comes out. She's watching Ziggler. Rusev comes out, tries to interfere. Ziggler takes him out, which costs him the match, distraction, so Sheamus wins. And then Rusev beats on Ziggler after the match while staring at Lana the entire time. So then we go, before Cena comes out, or while Cena's coming out, they put up a graphic for the champion versus champion match at the pay-per-view. Cena versus Kevin Owens. And correct me if I'm wrong, it says champion versus champion, but they didn't say if the titles are actually on the line, whose title's on the line, whose title isn't. So watching that, I have no idea if that's going to be a title match. Cena cuts a long promo of talking about the back and forth with the fans with the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." puts over Kevin Owens for a minute. Entourage cast comes out, crowd's booing, and it's just, look, for whatever reason, the WWE fans just don't like celebrities. It doesn't matter who it is; they boo all of them. So Entourage cast gets booed. They introduce Zack Ryder, and he's the hometown boy. So Ryder accepts the challenge with Cena. At one point, one of the Entourage guys gets in the ring, but Cena ends up going over. And then Ryder, Cena, and the entire cast celebrate at the end. Kevin Owens runs in from the crowd, takes out Cena, and steps on the belt again.
Jeff, there's a lot. The more and more I see this thing play out, this NXT WWE thing, bro, I'm telling you, the inner workings of the WWE, Jeff, there's a lot more going on here than people realize. And I'm telling you this because I know the players. I see what's going on. A lot of the logic, there is none. So that tells me that there are ulterior motives. What else is going on here? Okay, and I'll tell you what else is going on here, bro. Triple H wants to make his NXT product to all his internet wrestling marks who put it over and praise him. Triple H is attempting to make NXT the next ECW. Triple H is trying to create NXT like this cool, hip product that's got his name on it. And it's like, this is what I do over here. If I was in charge of the WWE guys, internet wrestling community, this is what it would look like. Over here, that's Vince's show. Vince writes this show, not me. My show is this cool, hip 2015 version of ECW, NXT. That's my show. Because, bro, now suddenly what you're seeing happen is, which makes no sense, especially when it comes to Vince McMahon. Bro, we saw what Vince McMahon did to ECW roster. We saw what Vince McMahon did to the WCW roster. WWE and John Cena is your bread and butter. Why are you going to have guys from this small NXT product? Now you have them coming over to Raw, getting over on the Raw stars and John Cena on the main stage. What is that doing for Raw? I mean, like, I don't understand. Listen, Owens has the NXT title. What that tells me is after the match on Sunday, Owens is going back to NXT. Okay, Sami Zayn had the match. Sami Zayn went back. I know he's hurt, but he went back to NXT. What's happening here is these NXT guys are coming into the WWE and they're getting the rub, and then they're going back to NXT, and at NXT, they're bigger stars than they were before now. Not at the WWE. You clearly have an interstructure, whether Triple H is working Vince or not, and can Vince be worked at 70 years old, bro? I don't know. I haven't worked with Vince McMahon in 15 years. But I'm telling you, bro, on the surface, this is what it looks like to me. Now think about this, Jeff. Think about the logic of this, okay? Will Cena get over at the pay-per-view? Probably, without a doubt. But, Jeff, listen to me. Triple H is smarter than that, Jeff. How many people are going to view Owens losing to Triple H at the pay-per-view compared to the people now that 2 weeks saw Owens beat up Cena in front of 4 million people? Triple H knows all this, bro. It's a freaking game. 4 million people 2 weeks in a row will see Owens beat up We'll see Owens beat up Cena. Then on Sunday, maybe 1 million people will see Cena beat Owens in a very close contest. Triple H knows all this going in. And bro, I'm telling you, he's got this. NXT is my baby. I'm gonna get this baby over with the internet wrestling community. And if people crap on Raw, that's not my show. That's Vince's show. I want to add this though too, Jeff. I got to say this because I don't want to be, again, I'm not a fan of the show. I don't want to be 100% critical, but I want to say this: John Cena in 2015 can still sell tickets, can still make people want to watch a pay-per-view, can still get guys over, whether it's Owens, whether it's Ryder, no matter who it is. This guy is a freaking pro. And people that have a problem with Cena, do not understand what his value is in that company and where that company would be without him. Because the way he works the crowd, bro, and at the end of the crowd, he masters a crowd, he works the crowd, he goes with whatever the crowd is feeding them, still makes people interested in pay-per-views, and can still get guys over.
Here's my issue with that match. Afterwards, Zack Ryder is celebrating with Cena and the Entourage guys. Cena's raising Ryder's, hand. He's doing all this. Zack Ryder's not a rookie. He's a veteran. He's been in WWE for years now. Why? Let's get into the mindset if this was real. Why would this guy who's been in the company for so many years be satisfied with losing a U.S. title match? I mean, the guy's a veteran. He should be upset. Like, why is he happy? Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. I understand with Sami Zayn. He's a rookie. It's his first match. John Cena, big deal. He did well, almost won. But somebody that's been there as long as Zack Ryder, why would they have him celebrating like it was a rookie in his first match?
Because it's wrestling 101, Jeff. It's in their mind. Ryder's going to get over in the match. Not by winning the match, bro, by it being a close match, by there being false finishes, by, Cena kicking out at 2 for 3 times. We're going to give Zack Ryder the Cena rub, and after this, Zack Ryder is going to be over. Here's the only problem with this, bro. You can take this, Jeff, and you can build on this, but they won't. They won't. You won't see Zack Ryder for another 4 to 6 weeks. We'll forget all about the good match he had with Cena. So it's all, bro, it's just it's the mindset of wrestling writers.
After that, we go backstage. Renee Young wants an update on she's with Triple H and Stephanie and Seth Rollins. She wants an update on the Dean Ambrose situation. So I like this for 2 reasons. One, they're continuing the story thread. Let's keep this going throughout the night. And the second is, I thought that they normally make these backstage reporters look stupid because they never investigate anything. So I like that they had Renee Young trying to find an answer for something. I think they need to do more of that. That's just my opinion, because backstage reporters need to try to find information. Then we go to the Divas match. It's Tamina and Paige with the Bellas on commentary. They announced that there'll be a triple threat title match at the pay-per-view. Nikki Bella, Paige, and Naomi. And due to interference by Naomi in this match, Tamina goes over. Any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, first of all, again, I want to give them credit for having a thread throughout the show. They need. Listen, you don't need. You can't do that once every 4 weeks. You need to do it every single week. That's what I've been crying about. That's the effort. That's putting time into the show. So even though I think a lot about this backstage story was weak, in my opinion, they still did it and they still attempted it, and I put them over for that. Tamina and Paige, I don't know, bro. I don't know why you're beating Paige. I don't know, bro. I don't care. I'm not even going to get into it. Paige is the one. It's that simple. and she should be rolling, but I'm not even going to get into that. From there, Jeff, we went to the tag team thing, which turned into a 10-on-3, which was the same exact thing from last week. The same camera shots, the same angles, the same whole thing. I don't even want to talk about that. I mean, I don't even know, bro. If the guys were wrestling that match naked, I don't even think I would have watched it. I don't know what makes them think if we put this match on TV, people are going to watch. I mean, there's no way in the world I was watching that match or I cared about anybody. Just a total waste of time. Then the thing, go ahead, Jeff. Start going into the finish now of the show.
Okay, so we get the replay of Ambrose knocking out the cameraman again, and then they have the secret YouTube footage. So whoever the sneaky YouTube person is backstage got the footage of Seth Rollins pushing the cameraman into Ambrose. So they're using this, at least Michael Cole did. I don't know if he was told to say this or not, but apparently he says, apparently Ambrose has been cleared of the charges once the YouTube video showed up. So I guess in the laws in New York, as long as somebody gets pushed into you, you're free to take them out. So I didn't understand the logic with that. But Reigns comes out as the authorities celebrating. Ambrose isn't going to sign the contract. Match isn't going to happen. So Reigns comes out, gets beat down. Ambrose shows up driving the paddy wagon, wearing the cop uniform. This is when Michael Cole said he's cleared of charges once the YouTube video showed up. And then we got back and forth. The baby faces end up getting the upper hand at the end of the show, and Dean Ambrose signs the contract.
Hold on. Bro, I thought I wrote it down. There was such bro. I thought I wrote it down, bro, because JBL had like the weakest line in the history of television at the end of that match. Like it was so like funny. Like I can't believe I didn't write it down, bro.
Trying to think of it during this segment with
the very end, like one of the last things he said. But anyway, bro. Okay. All right, bro, listen, I can't beat this up, Jeff. It's because again, I have to think. See, that's where my mind wants to think. All right, this is for children. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, bro, when we see the YouTube footage, by saying it was YouTube, that makes the WWE cool and hip. You know what I mean? Vince probably found out what YouTube was yesterday, so we're going to throw YouTube into the show. Like, okay, so, bro, like, we see the YouTube video of Rollins doing the push. It's like, Jeff, is that like supposed to be the oh my God moment? That's why, Jeff, like I gotta think like a child. Okay, the 12-year-old at home is saying, "Oh my God, look, Mom, look, Dad, I knew it was that no good Rollins." That's where. But then, Jeff, I go to the mouths being sewed to the backsides with the fecal matter from one person to the next. I go to that. Then I go to the Entourage care. Jeff, what are the odds of Entourage having a G rating and competing with the SpongeBob sequel this summer at the movie? See, that's where I get all confused, because it's like I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I want to say, okay, the writers are writing this show through the eyes of 12-year-olds. So it's an oh my God moment when we see the YouTube footage. And it's an oh my God moment when Ambrose drives the truck, back into the arena. I mean, that's what I want to believe, because then I can make excuses. I can make excuses for them. This show isn't for us. But then it's like, then I go back to the Centipede. Then I go back to what's the Entourage cast doing there. Then I get back to all that, and I'm just completely confused. I was reading some comments online, Jeff, yesterday, and after the show, like some people on Twitter, that was a solid Raw. bro, like, what's a solid? Like, I mean, the bar, Jeff, has been lowered so much that I'm actually putting the show over because they had that thread throughout the whole show. The thread was awful. It was horrible. It was silly. It was stupid. I'm still putting it over because at least it was something. But like the bar has been so lowered that, I mean, there will be people that look at this episode of Raw and say that it was a solid, good show.
And no Bray Wyatt, no Randy Orton. So, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they had the day scheduled off, whatever the deal. Maybe they weren't there. But then a brand member named Mark tweets me later in the night that after the show went off the air, they had a dark match, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. So Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton in the building, wrestle in front of the crowd. Why are they not written into the show? Why would you have two of your biggest players in the building on the show, but we're not going to put them on TV? I just don't understand. Is there any logic with that?
Hey, Jeff, let me ask you this. Is Bray still – I mean, is there a Bray Ryback angle? Is that angle still going on or no?
They had the match at the pay-per-view, right? And I think Bray went over at that pay-per-view because they did the angle where Ryback got hurt by getting thrown into the turnbuckle. Bray got the win. And, man, was Bray even on the show last week? I don't even remember. I don't have my notes. They have no idea what to do with this guy. They have absolutely no idea what to do with him. If you have Bray Wyatt in the building, ready to go, you're going to use him. You got Randy Orton, but we can't fit him in a 3-hour show. That's why it's like, don't go on Steve Austin's podcast, Triple H, and say how difficult it is to write a 3-hour show when you have two superstars sitting in the building that you can't even put on the 3-hour show.
Jeff, I got to ask you this, bro, between you and me. Jeff, I don't know how do you have trouble getting a Bray Wyatt over? I don't understand that, Jeff. Jeff, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm 54 years old. I've written a lot of TV. I've written a lot, Jeff. My mind isn't like as quick as it used to be. Like it isn't, Jeff. I'm just telling you, I got a 54-year-old mind now, and I'm not as quick and sharp as I used to be because so much information has gone in and out over 54 years. But, bro, I mean, a non-wrestling fan could book Bray Wyatt more effectively. I mean, again, so like you got to ask yourself, okay, does this guy have heat with somebody? Did he not follow an order? Did he not? I don't know what it is, bro. But Jeff, it just seems to me you would almost have to try to not get a Bray Wyatt over. He should be the easiest one on that roster to get over. I don't understand it.
Especially with his natural ability. And I don't know. It comes to a point where I don't want to try to think like them because there's no logic involved in the majority of decisions that they make. You have a dark match, great, you want to send the crowd home with a big match. I understand that. But why are these guys still not on the TV broadcast? And we have these super long segments, the opening segment, 21 minutes just to make a meaningless tag match. Rusev standing in the ring for 10 minutes doing nothing. And, all these pointless matches, you can't do something with somebody like Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. I don't know, man. The only thing I enjoyed was Lana and Rusev. I picked Lana as my performer of the week. I thought she did well.
Yeah, Jeff, I don't know. Listen, I'm not going to beat it up. I'm not a fan of this show. Jeff and I just went over a 3-hour show. I told you why. I told you what are the things I look at that are laughable to me and don't resonate in 2015 unless you're a child. I mean, and like I said, I'm not a fan of this show. I wish I was. There are guys I like on the show. I enjoy watching, Dolph Ziggler. I love Bray, even though Bray wasn't on the show. Sandow, bro. Sandow.
Yeah, no, Sandow wasn't on the show.
Jeff, let's examine this for a minute. Jeff. Look at the time and the weeks and the hours they put into the Mizdow when Damian Sandow went out there himself and got the gimmick over. Nobody in the world told Sandow, okay, you do this when Miz does that. And there's nobody there good enough, bro, to have directed a Sandow that way. He basically took the stunt double and got himself over with it. That angle was 3 months in the making. 3 months in the making, bro. So when you invest 3 months, you're investing into the character, because after those 3 months, coming off of that, where do they go from there? Mizdow had the people. The people were with Mizdow. Here we go again. Not on the show. Bro, I'm not a fan of Miz. Miz is more talented than Los Matadors or the Ascension or any one of those 13 guys that were in the tag team match. Miz is a bigger star than those guys. Where's Miz? Like I said, Jeff, it's like you said, Hunter's going to go on there and cry about a 3-hour show. Bro, didn't Lesnar sign a new contract?
Yeah, Lesnar's got a new deal. I read somewhere Miz is taking time off for something. I don't know if he's filming in a movie or what his deal is. But, yeah, I mean, we haven't even heard – they don't even mention Brock Lesnar. Why are they signing him? I don't know his deal. However many appearances, they probably want to save him for the good seasons. You know how with the WrestleMania season or SummerSlam or whatever they're doing. But it's like, I don't know. I just get frustrated when I think about it. I get frustrated because this is supposed to be, it is, and that's the sad thing sometimes. It's the best wrestling organization in the world, and they consistently put on the most poorly written show on television. There's not a show on TV written worse than this. The fact that 3.5 million people watch it weekly is kind of surprising. Go ahead, tell me not to watch it. I'm going to continue to watch it. One of my best friends is on the show. B, I do it for this site. So if you want to tell me to quit watching, if I don't like it, you're falling on deaf ears. I'm still going to watch the show. I'm just surprised that people that have choices still do it. WWE fans, if you guys like this show, I'm asking you to please raise your standards. Go watch some of the old Raws. The way that this show is written, it's mind-boggling to me. I'm going to stop ranting on it because I could just complain about this all day, really.
But you know what, Jeff, and it's even something like this. Jeff, think about how, Jeff, I'm sitting here with a 54-year-old brain, and I'm thinking about this. Okay, just think about something this simple, Jeff. This simple. You've got a Hulk Hogan on the roster. Not on the roster. He works for the company. You got him on the payroll. Okay, you got a Hulk Hogan on the payroll. You've got this Axel. What's his name, bro?
Henning's kid, Curtis Axel.
You got Curtis Axel, Henning's kid. Jeff, Henning was a huge star. Kurt Hennig was the best. I worked with him. The best, bro. Kurt Hennig. Okay, it didn't get any better than Mr. Perfect. So, bro, you got this Kurt Axel. You got Hulk Hogan on the same payroll. He's doing this Axel Mania. Okay, bro, like something as simple as Hogan calling him out and putting him over, or Axelmania calling out Hogan and putting Hogan over. whatever the case may be, bro. But then Curtis Axel destroying Hulk Hogan. And the whole reason I came here was because of you and the horror stories my father told me about you. And you kept my father down, and you kept people like him down. And, you were a politician. And that's the only reason I got into professional wrestling, to revenge my father, the great Kurt Hennig. I mean, Jeff, it's like, to me, it's something that simple. You got Axel there. You got Hogan there. Hogan and Perfect had a history. It's all there. You want to get Axel over, but they do this ridiculous thing. But see, Jeff, this is where I'm up and down like the yo-yo. Is the Axel Sandow thing? Is it the kitty thing, bro? Is it that the 10-year-olds will laugh at this? But then, Jeff, you got to ask yourself the question. How many 10-year-olds really know who Savage is anyway? You see what I'm saying? That's why, it's so confusing. And like you said, Jeff, you sit back and you try to Jeff, I do this all the time, Jeff. And I think you do too. I'm a very critical thinker. You see, bro, when I say something, Jeff, like when I say something about the dirt sheets, or I say something about this, or I say something about that, rather than anybody take a second and try to be a critical thinker and understand what Vince is doing, bro, they'll read the first sentence and they'll just start spewing hate. I'm not that way, bro. If I see something on television, Jeff, that I don't understand, Jeff, if I see a baseball manager make a move that I don't understand, if I see, Jeff, if it's first and second, and the team is down by a run and there's 2 outs and the guy on second tries to steal third and gets thrown out, which is a bonehead move, before I call the guy an absolute bonehead, I will sit here and say, okay, what's going through his mind? What was he honestly thinking before he tried to steal the bag? So, I'm very critical. So, when I watch this show, Jeff, I say, okay, why did they do that? Why did they write it that way? What were they thinking? Bro, just like, Jeff, you and I go back with Lost. There were a lot of things I didn't understand, but I'm trying to, why did the guy with the pen in his hand, why did he write it that way? What was he trying to get over? You know what I mean? And that's the thing, Jeff. It's like you said, I sit there on Mondays and that's what I try to do. But when there's no rhyme, reason, or pattern, and I mean, you can't, it's not consistent from week to week. Bro, it's like I thought they were trying to get away from the kid thing, Jeff, and I was applauding them for that. I really was. But now they surround, Rollins and the whole thing around, being compared to Justin Bieber. But that's for the... Bro, I don't even know who... Jeff, think about this on the surface, right? Jeff, who are Justin Bieber's biggest fans?
Young girls.
Are young girls watching Raw? Bro, young guys aren't fans of Bieber. They think Bieber's a dick. Even, 12, 13, 14-year-old guys, they're not buying Justin Bieber records. The teeny bopper girls are buying. So, when you sit down right there and think about that, those girls are not watching Raw. So, who is that reference supposed to get heat with? That's what I mean, bro. That's the stuff that's guys, it's almost like they're trying to force Bieber in there to be cool and hip. First of all, Bieber was cool and hip 5 years ago. Bieber ain't cool and hip now. I mean, I know that. That's number one. But then, Jeff, like I said, break it down even further. Okay, who's Justin Bieber's audience? It's screaming 12-year-old girls. Do screaming 12-year-old girls watch Raw? No. Well, then why are they putting that reference in the show? I don't know, Jeff. I don't know.
So if you had to pick a performer of the night, again, when we do this, we're not considering how bad or good the creative was. We're talking about the individual giving a great performance on what the material they're given? Who would you go with last night?
Jeff, I'm going to tell you, I love Lana. I love Lana. I like what Rusev is doing. Again, and Jeff, that's where I came to the conclusion. Why is he doing what he's doing? Does he really care about this chick? No, he doesn't care about the chick. He cares that she buried him with the "I quit." So all his motivation now is for her to take that back. But I got to tell you, Jeff, I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. Bro, freaking Cena just ceases to amaze me. Bro, it's like every week, Jeff, he'll go out there, and like if you notice, he's got the bro. You know how like when boxers have a match, Jeff, when boxers have a fight, there's that feel out moment. There's the first 2 minutes of the fight where like they'll feel each other out. That's what he does. Every Cena crowd in every city is different. Everyone. So when you watch him, he'll go out, bro, and he'll throw the basic Cena lines out there because he wants to get a feel for which way the crowd is going. Either Cena sucks or, we love Cena, whatever the case may be. So then, bro, once he gets a feel for where the crowd is, then he'll take his promo and he'll just work them. They don't even know they're being worked. At the end of the promo, they all love John Cena. He sold tickets. He's gotten his opponent. Bro, and it's like, Jeff, here's the thing. This guy has been doing this from day freaking one. And to this day, when you still sit back and listen to him and watch him, you still really, really appreciate, what he brings to the freaking table.
Is there anything we missed? I'm trying to go through my notes. I had 2 pages less of notes than last week.
Yeah, I had Jeff. I had a front and a back. That's it. What did you have? That's all I had.
2 pages. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just looking through this. I'm looking to see if we missed anything, but
no. We got the pay-per-view coming up. Oh, boy.
Like that's the whole thing too, bro. And remember, Jeff, we talked about last week about the way they set up the contract deal, and Stephanie was forced to, like, under duress to say, "Okay, we'll give you a match. You give you a match." Well, bro, like rather than if you don't sign it by the end of the night, and they got to go through the trouble of getting him arrested and this that, why not just take the contract off the table?
Right.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's like. That's okay with everybody because that's the wrestling world. But I'm sorry, bro. I've grown up. You know what I'm saying? I don't accept illogical, situations anymore. I don't accept it. That's why, Jeff, I got so much heat when I wrote television and, title changes and this and that and all the other things because I didn't go by the rules of wrestling. I went by how this individual would have acted, what this individual would have done, how that's how I wrote the television. I didn't stay within the confines of traditional wrestling. And listen, man, it was like this before the Attitude Era. It's like this, after the Attitude Era, and it is what it is.
Yeah. One thing I didn't mention, man, when that show starts and the Authority hits. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm sick. I mean, I'm sick of everything to do with the Authority. I'm sick of the song. I'm sick of the logos, the lights, Stephanie's wave. It's just the same crap every single week, and that's not good heat, okay? They're not working me. Hey, that's what we want, heels. No, it's get off my TV heat. I don't want to see you. And I don't know. I'm just sick of it.
Well, Jeff, think about this too, bro. Again, okay, I'm with you, bro. I could not be any more sick of Stephanie and Hunter. I'm sorry. And the 2 jabrones and Kane. Oh my God, bro, forget about it. But I'm not even going to go on about that. But Jeff, listen to me. Even if we're going to keep them on television, right, bro? Wouldn't the objective be for them to get somebody else over? Who are they getting over, bro? They've been doing the Rollins act for months. Okay, so Rollins does not need Stephanie or Triple H at this point in time. Like, who are they? What are they doing to get Ambrose over? Ambrose got over because he drove an ambulance back into the arena, and the 15-year-old, 12-year-olds popped. That's what got him over. I mean, the whole idea of the authority figure is to bring different people to the dance and get those people over. That's what Vince did, bro. It started with Austin. It went to Mick. It went to The Rock. Whoever we needed to get to the next level, that's what we use the authority figure for. Who are Stephanie and Triple H getting over on a weekly basis?
Nobody effectively. I don't know if they think that's the one thing I try to figure out. Do they think we're putting on great shows every night? I mean, do they think, yes, this worked? This is exactly what we wanted. Ambrose is getting the reaction that we wanted. I try to sit there, and it's like, if they think that they're doing these excellent shows every week, we're in trouble as viewers. We are in.
I'm going to go right back to this, Jeff. If Vince McMahon is writing the show, it's all on Vince. And at the end of the day, what do they really care? I'm just going to be honest with you, bro. The more and more Hunter can make NXT look like ECW and get over with the internet crowd and be the hero, the more and more he can do that, okay, the more and more Vince looks bad by the Raw product on Monday nights. So think about it, bro. Listen, wrestling's all about selfishness. I don't care what anybody says, bro. It's all about me, myself, and I. And I'll be honest with you, bro. I hate to think about that when it comes to Stephanie McMahon and her own dad. I hate to think about that, bro. But, with the people I know, inside of the WWE, Stephanie's on the Hunter side of the fence. No doubt about it. I mean, because that was my thing. Like I always said, man, I would kind of hate to be like stuck in the middle. There is no middle from people I talk to. Stephanie is on Team Hunter. So, you got to ask yourself, bro, listen, Hunter's an intelligent person. So when you say, can he honestly sit there and think these are Dynamite shows compared to the shows he used to be in? I can't believe the answer is yes. So on the other side of the coin, the more people bury the show and criticize the show, it's not his show, it's Vince's show. So then we get into, Vince is, senile, Vince is out of touch, Vince is this, Vince is that. Bro, that statement you made last week, Jeff, and I don't remember what it was, you made a Triple H statement that I kind of picked apart where he compared NXT, and then when they go to the WWE, they're not going to be over or something like that. But when I heard that statement, that's when the light bulb went off, and I'm like, okay, I get it.
But, I think it was on Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Dirt where he said that he knows there's people on the roster and gimmicks on the roster that won't make it in WWE.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so that right there. Because, bro, you got to ask yourself the question. Let me ask you this, Jeff, right? If they won't make it in the WWE and they're on the NXT roster right now, right, bro? What are they there for?
Right.
Why are they on the roster? I mean, if they're not investment on your time and they're going to make you money, they're not making you money at Full Sail University. They're not making you money there. Yeah, they're selling some merch, to the people that are NXT. They're not selling merch to the world. So if they're on your roster and they're never going to get over on the WWE, then what are they there for? They're there to get NXT over. That's what they're there for.
Right.
But hey, Jeff, what do we got coming up this week? I think I got so much stuff, Jeff, in the can. I really got to figure out like what I'm putting up next. I think the next swerve, bro. I interviewed this guy in a band. You ever hear this what is it? Overboard Man
Overboard. Zach, dude, he's awesome, man. He reached out to me on Twitter to let me know he was a big fan of the show, and like, so I got talking to him and stuff, and he's awesome, man. He invited me to the big Warp Tour to party with him, and I can't wait to see that interview. Oh, man.
Bro, what Zach Eisenstein of Man Overboard, and they play the Warp Tour, bro. These guys got a big following, but this guy has huge wrestling fan, great personality. I had a great talk with him, bro. We talked about the what, bro? What are the? I know they're rats in wrestling. What are they in
The groupies?
The group. We talked about the groupies. Bro, I got down all his moves. We talked about all the moves, how he gets the groupies. We talked about how he eliminates the ones he doesn't want. That was a whole discussion, bro. We got into because I really had to live vicariously through him. So we go through that whole thing, and then I got to kind of look at what's going to be on Shoot to Thrill. I've got so many good ones in the can. I just got to kind of figure out what we're going to do. Also, too, Jeff, you had a great idea with the Vixens Who Rule. We're going to start bringing on more independent females on the scene, so we can kind of take a look at them, have a conversation with them. Kind of make the decision on our own if we think they're going to one day be full-fledged divas or TNA knockouts. So I've got a couple of newcomers coming up on the show. But
since this is for VIPs only, this broadcast right here, why don't you give them the VIPs some early knowledge here? Let them know one of them that's coming on.
Well, I got a couple of them. I got Deonna. Is that how you say it, Jeff? Deonna?
Yeah.
I got Deonna
Purrazzo.
She's coming on. She's an indie wrestler. She's trained by Robbie E. I'm interviewing her today, so we should probably have her next week. Cherry Bomb, I'm interviewing later this week, so we'll have her on the next couple of weeks. And I'm looking, any indie girls out there, or if you know of any that want to get a shot and want to come on the show. Tell them how to contact me, official Vince Russo @gmail.com, and I'll be happy to, put these women in front of an audience. So, anybody out there that, like I said, give them our email address and we'll just take it from there.
And if anybody hasn't noticed yet, the Ivelisse episode of Vixens Who Rule went up yesterday. So I'll be watching that this afternoon.
Yeah. And also Jeff Lane at Jeff Lane 22 and the JeffLane.com for Jeff's website. You can read Jeff's blogs. And, of course, you can read Jeff's blogs every day on VinceRussoBrand.com. Well, Jeff, another week, another Raw. Jeff, people are suggesting that maybe we don't do Raw every week and we mix it up. Maybe we do like a TNA and maybe we do a Lucha and maybe we do this and that. And, maybe we will do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of waiting, though, to see like what the situation is with TNA. I don't know. I don't know, so, bro, it's a matter of, investing the time, not knowing what the future is. And I think Lucha's on hiatus right now. So, there's not too many other things we could do right now, but I'm open to opening up that envelope, and I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, and I got a few suggestions like that too. And I'll review every single show if that's what people want. But the problem is, you reviewing Raw was the most requested feature by far. So I think if we didn't do Raw and we did something else, it's going to make a lot of people mad. So at that point, I would say we would add something. I don't think we would replace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like you said, I think Lucha's only got a few more episodes left and their first season's over. TNA. So it's like, Brand, speak to us. Obviously, we listen to you. Cherry Bomb was one of the suggestions by a brand member. She's already booked for Vixens. This was the #1 requested feature, Vince talking about Raw. So if there's other stuff you want, let us know. Obviously, he's listening.
Yeah. Well, everybody, that's another week of Raw the day after from Vince Russo and Jeff Lane. As Jeff just said, Ivelisse went up late yesterday. I encourage you to watch that. It's a very good interview. I know on the Swerve, like I said, it's going to be Zach Eisenstein of Man Overboard. Any of you guys need to learn how to pick up chicks. You might want to watch this show. And I'll release a little later on of what's going to be on Shoot to Thrill. I want to kind of go over the interviews in the can and see what works best. But listen, until then, thanks for joining us. And as always, we will catch you on the rebound.